Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Tonight, they're meeting the need for needles, clean needles. Why organizers say this program saves lives in San Antonio and taxpayer money. We're going to take a closer look at the needle exchange program. But first, San Antonio police spending much of their day responding to shooting after shooting, at least 3 cases just today alone.
Yeah, in the most recent gunfire left 2 people dead, one of them an innocent man in his 60s inside his own home when he was hit by a stray bullet. It happened near West Mariposa and Blanco. Police are still searching for one more suspect in that case. Tonight, Team's Batty Santos talks with a man who says that he was nearly struck by one of those flying bullets.
Bashad Hussan was nearly struck by bullets flying in from a shooting just outside the convenience store.
We hear some bullet shots and we all go on the floor because bullets are coming in the store.
One of those stray bullets killed one of his regular customers who lives next door. A man he says always had a smile on his face.
If I'm going outside and he's smoking and he's outside their house, he waved me a hand, and he's a really nice guy. He's old, but he's really, really nice.
Police say the 60-year-old man was in his home watching TV and having lunch when bullets peppered his home. San Antonio police say the shooting involved a group of 5 people inside this green SUV and another man that walked up to the vehicle.
An individual walks up to the passenger door of the Suburban. It looked like there was some sort of deal getting ready to go down.
Surveillance cameras show the SUV circling the gas station minutes before the shooting. Chief William McManus says one of the suspects inside the SUV got out and started shooting. A man shot back, killing one of the suspects and injuring the driver. That man got away, but police were able to get to the 3 other people inside the SUV.
What we saw here today was risky behavior, and it resulted in the senseless death of a resident in the neighborhood. And it is just insane that people have no respect for other people's safety.
Dozens of family members waited outside the home grieving the loss of an innocent man.
He was a good man.
Neighbors say they've been worried about criminal activity in the area. Many have cameras outside their homes.
I'll tell my daughter it's time to move out, because what do you think? Somebody's going to get hurt here.
And thanks to all those cameras, police say they have a pretty good image of the final suspect they're looking for. No word on his arrest tonight. Police say they found several weapons at the scene. Stefania?
Patty, thank you. Now, police say that guns were used in a separate murder-suicide case. Officers found a woman and a man dead inside a home on Enrique Avenue on the city's west side. The Bexar County Medical Examiner hasn't revealed their names. Family members say the woman inside was dating the man who lived at the home. They say the couple had a daughter who's less than a year old. She wasn't home when it happened. Police have not yet said who they believe pulled that trigger. And tonight, police are looking for a suspect in yet another shooting. They want to know who killed 26-year-old Jerome Johns early this morning. He was found outside an apartment complex on Lorene near San Pedro Avenue and Highway 281. Investigators think that he was fighting with another man before he was shot.
New tonight, Bernie police say a call for a welfare check ended in a shooting. Police were called to the Carrington Apartments. It's on Johns Road after someone was concerned that person could harm themselves. Officials say it led to an officer shooting someone on scene. First responders performed CPR, but that person died. The Texas Rangers are now investigating. And tonight we get an up-close look at a program aimed at helping people with substance abuse problems. It is very similar to programs that have been controversial across the country. Local organizations giving clean needles to people who are actively using drugs. Organizers tell the Night Team's John Paul Barajas it's a program that saves lives and taxpayer money. He tagged along with Corazon San Antonio's harm reduction team to get a first-hand look.
Dozens of used and dirty needles are taken off the street. People who are actively using drugs, one person at a time, threw their needles in hazard waste bins.
14? Okay.
In return, they get new clean needles. It's all in an effort to reduce the harm to the individuals.
To the people who think you guys are enabling, what's your quick message to them?
They are actively using already. So we're not enabling, we're encouraging them to come and get services.
Harm reduction specialist Claudia Delphine explains by giving them clean needles, they're trying to slow infection of HIV and hepatitis C.
That's what happens when you don't get clean needles. So you want to make sure that you're wiping every time before.
Delphine tests for both during their outreach. She says 90% are positive for hepatitis C and 30 to 40 for HIV.
You doing all right? Good to see you. Yeah, it's me, Scotty.
Throughout the process, they build relationships with those they're helping in hopes they feel more comfortable trying to get clean.
I want to do it like that.
You don't want to do it like that no more? No? You want to get off of it?
For those who aren't ready to make that change, the team offers plenty of other resources.
This one is a safe sex kit, is a hygiene kit. This is the wound care kit.
In addition to that, they provide Narcan to prevent overdoses.
Here you go, brother. So once you have it there in the corner, right?
As well as fentanyl drug testing kits because it's been circulating the streets and increasing overdoses.
If it goes to that side, it's invalid. This means it's positive and right on the money. Bam. Okay?
Then you know not to.
Yeah.
Corazon's harm reduction team adds the program is funded by county grants and is beneficial to taxpayers by keeping those without insurance out of hospitals and off costly medications. Corazon's harm reduction team has been doing outreach 6 days a week for about 3 months. They say they've had a 50% success rate. Maybe not everybody goes into detox, but they accept some form of social service, such as spending a night at a shelter or getting checked up at one of their clinics. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And now the Bexar County Examiner's Office wants you to take a really good look at this picture that you see here. It's a sketch of what a woman may have looked like when she was alive. So that woman, you see her right there, was found in the woods outside the Rio at Mission Trails nursing home back in November of 2020. Investigators believe that she was white or Hispanic and between 20 and 40 years old. Now, here's another clue that investigators are hoping will help identify her. They say she was wearing that bracelet that you see on the right-hand side of your screen when she was found. So look at the picture again and the jewelry. If you have any information on this, you should call the medical examiner. That number is on your screen. It's 210-335-4011. Now, tomorrow on the Nightbeat, San Antonio is seeing a rise in property crimes. Thieves are targeting cars and what's inside them. Undercover officers show us what they recovered in a 4-week special operation, and they also tell us what drivers should think about before they leave their cars. And again, that's tomorrow on the Nightbeat.
It's some new perspective when it comes to where we are in this pandemic. The new 7-day average, a number we haven't seen since around Christmas. Tonight, the 7-day average at 452. Back on December 25th, we had a 7-day average of 455. When it comes to hospitalizations, they are declining, but they're still higher than what we saw on Christmas Day. Tonight, 483 COVID-19 patients are in the hospital. That's the bar in red. The bar in blue shows hospitalizations on December 25th were only 202. We continue to see deaths reported on a nearly daily basis. 4 deaths were confirmed just today. And epidemiologist Charisse Rohr-Allegrini says as case counts come down, deaths do usually increase.
Usually because people are in the hospital for a long time and then unfortunately pass away, those numbers tend to go up after when we see the numbers of new cases start to come down, just because people are in the hospital for a long time, and that's a normal pattern that we see.
The CDC data shows the death rate among the unvaccinated continues to be much, much higher than those who are vaccinated. If you would like to see the rest of this conversation with Charisse Rohr-Allegrini, just log on to KSAT.com.
And now it's a good time to check your phone because AT&T is ending its 3G technology tomorrow. So that means old phones with that very technology that use AT&T will no longer work. Now, the plan is to reuse the spectrum for 4G and 5G technology, which is more efficient. The same thing happened with AT&T and 2G. If you remember, that was back in 2017. And by the way, other service providers are still going to use 3G. T-Mobile and Verizon are set to let go of their 3G later on this year.
Also happening tomorrow, polls are going to be back open for early voting. More than 40,000 voters have cast a ballot early in the March primaries. Those numbers go up between now and Election Day, which is next Tuesday, March 1st. You can take a look at each ballot right now. Take a look at the busiest voting centers on KSAT.com.
Downright spring-like outside today. We had a high temperature of 85 degrees here in San Antonio after a morning low of 62, well above the Average low of 46 and the average high is 69. We even made it to 90 in Carrizo Springs, 96 Del Rio, Cotulla 91. Actually, tomorrow, I think will be just a few degrees warmer. 88 in San Antonio tomorrow, but then look, the bottom falls out by Wednesday. Get ready for some more winter-like conditions. We'll get into the specifics, even rain chances and slight chances of a wintry precipitation in just a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you. And coming up, the avocado ban is over, but that doesn't mean that we're out of the woods just yet. What analysts expect to happen over the next 2 weeks.
And a local church hit up by vandals. It's not what they left behind that's causing concern. Instead, it's what they took. The plea from a local pastor coming up.
Also, Russia is escalating tensions with the Ukraine and NATO allies, and the U.S. says that Russia has even formed a kill list. That story is next on the Nightbeat. Tonight, major movement in the conflict between Russia and the Ukraine. Russia already taking some Ukrainian territory in 2014 and threatens to do so again. Today, Russia's president saying that he's going to recognize 2 Russian-controlled separatist regions in eastern Ukraine as independent. Some analysts are taking that as a sign that Russia could invade the Ukraine soon.
Putin still sees Ukraine as part of the Soviet Empire. He doesn't like that there have been discussions about Ukraine joining NATO.
Now, NATO allies have condemned Russia's move. The U.S. National Security Team is also planning on what to do next. The U.S. also says that Russia has identified Ukrainians to be killed or sent to camps. Tune into Good Morning San Antonio for the latest updates tomorrow.
It is a place meant for peace and prayer. Instead, a local pastor says vandals stirred up trouble by taking a 500-pound statue from the church grounds.
I imagine it took a team effort for them to do this. It was more than one person. We're thinking that it may be in an alleyway. Someone may have stolen it as a prank and dropped it someplace.
The statue of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, stood outside St. Margaret Mary Church for about 40 years. It's just near Fair Avenue in South New Braunfels, just southeast of downtown. Father Jimmy Drennan believes the statue was taken Wednesday night. He is asking for its return. If you know where the statue is, call police. The search growing more desperate for a man last seen more than a week ago. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office needs help finding him. This is who they're looking for, 65-year-old Manuel Mendoza. He was last seen February 13th near Loop 1604 on Pleasanton Road. Deputies say he has a medical condition, and they don't think he has his medicine. If you've seen him or know where he is, call the BCSO Missing Persons Unit at 210-335-6000. First Lady Jill Biden is going to be in San Antonio this week. Her visit will focus on cancer health disparities in the Latino community. On Wednesday, she will visit the Mays Cancer Center here in San Antonio, part of an initiative to try and speed up the rate of progress against cancer. The First Lady will also visit Joint Base San Antonio Lackland to tour a child development center and participate in a listening session. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
And now to a popular piece of produce that's making headlines yet again. The ban on avocados from Mexico lasted less than a week, but experts say the impact could last for another 2. David Mangana is a senior analyst for Rabobank. He says that because of the temporary disruption, supply is going to go down for a bit. And you know the rules with economics, right? When you see that happening, prices are going to go up. Increased scrutiny on Mexican produce, by the way, has been growing over the last few decades.
U.S. International Trade Commission has been investigating imports from Mexico for tomatoes for more than 20 years. And recently they did something for blueberries and now also strawberries and bell peppers.
So back to that ban on avocados. The temporary ban was announced after a U.S. food inspector was threatened in Mexico. Nearly 90% of the avocados imported to the U.S. come from Mexico. But Magana says that there is a bit of good news, and that is that California now is expected to produce 15% more avocados than it did last year. So just something. All right, now we want to take a live look outside. Get excited. Sky 12. Look at how pretty it looks over the carnival tonight.
It is beautiful, beautiful out there. Yeah, and they moved the carnival this year to the east side of the AT&T Center. Looks great as you drive down AT&T Parkway there. Adam.
And those folks there are going to have one more good night, I guess?
Yes, they are. Then it's back to, I guess, real rodeo weather that we're accustomed around here with the colder temperatures and a cold front. So let's talk about what we're expecting coming down the pike. Spring-like again tomorrow, well into the 80s, near 90, even a bit of humidity in the air, so well above average. Cold by Wednesday, and then we stay cold until the weekend, and a little bit of light precipitation is going to join that colder air. So let's talk temperatures first and get an idea of what's going on. Still right near 70 degrees, sitting at 69 here in town. Look at that dew point, 64. You feel some stickiness back in the air, a bit of humidity. Hondo dew point is 69, Pleasanton 65. We're actually feeling the mugginess outside. We'll feel it again for about the first half of the day tomorrow, and we'll definitely have it swept away by Wednesday. Temperatures. Del Rio hanging on to 83, Dryden at 80 degrees, 77 Carrizo Springs. Those are some of the warmer locations, 69 New Braunfels and Kerrville. Big picture, you look into North Texas, cold front's not quite here yet. Temperatures are lower because of clouds, showers, and thunderstorms from Midland to Abilene, Lubbock area. But you go northward, you can clearly see the cold front. It has now moved through Guyman, Oklahoma. Earlier at 6 p.m., we were talking about their temperatures in the 60s, now 24. Wichita, 30 degrees, but look at Goodland, Kansas, down to 6. So not far behind this front. Temperatures drop down into the single digits with the core of the cold air being below 0. Now, we're going to see a big temperature drop, but we are not expecting a big freeze. Of course, that air does modify a bit as it travels southward. And actually, I think around San Antonio will stay above freezing throughout this little cool snap, but it's just going to be a big difference from 80s down into the 40s. Here's the activity from an upper disturbance. See from San Angelo northeastward all the way to the Red River, just west of Dallas. Severe thunderstorm activity even stretching into Oklahoma. At least they're getting some good moisture out of it. That's all staying to the north of us. We had one shower in northwestern Edwards County earlier with a little bit of lightning and thunder, and that was it. That's how close we got to that disturbance. Not enough to bring us much moisture. Big picture is this big trough, that dip in the upper level flow over the western U.S. That's going to give us the overrunning situation. Cold air moves in, warm moisture rides up above it. It's going to give us some low gray clouds for several days, Wednesday, Thursday, even most of Friday, but probably kickstart a little bit of precipitation as well. Tonight, early tomorrow, that's all far north of us. Actually, other than some morning clouds, a lot of sunshine tomorrow. 3 o'clock, mostly sunny. Then the clouds thicken as that cold front moves in very early on Wednesday. And notice how the Futurecast is showing just a few little dots possibly on the radar screen, mainly just light sprinkles here and there, not really adding up to much. But there is the slight chance of a little bit of light icing in parts of the hill country on some elevated surfaces. Right now, it just doesn't even look like we'd have enough moisture to really for it to become problematic, but it's something we're monitoring just in case. Main headline here is just it's going to be a lot colder, even coverage of rain. I mean, we're talking 20 to 30% chance Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So the coverage is going to be pretty limited, and the actual quantity looks very limited as well. Tomorrow we start at 63, make it up to 88. Cotulla, you'll probably be about 93 degrees, even Laredo 94, New Braunfels 87. And there's that downward trend. We're talking afternoon highs in the low 40s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Bit of a breeze, but notice our temperatures locally likely a little above freezing, so not a big cold snap per se.
Right, just cold. All right, thank you.
All right, an ugly scene on a basketball court actually intensified by the head coach.
Yeah, it was the head coach who's kind of got this thing going after a game between Michigan and Wisconsin. We all thought Juwan Howard was going to be suspended. The question was for how long. Tonight we know when we come back, you don't see this very often. And high school basketball playoffs when we come back. DeJounte Murray's first ever All-Star appearance was a huge success. Not only was he able to score 17 points in 27 minutes, he's able to score 13 of those in the second quarter, starting with a three-pointer and then quickly switching to Showtime. LaMelo Ball starts the alley-oops with this incredible pass to Murray, who slams it down. Take another look. This is so sweet. DJ will get to do it again thanks to Trae Young of the Hawks and 6 of 8 shooting in that quarter alone. He will get his final throwdown off the backboard. His team, Durant, would still fall to Team LeBron, 163 to 160, but Murray says he had a blast. In fact, since they were celebrating the league's 75th anniversary, they paraded all of the legends out, from Michael Jordan to David Robinson. Murray was asked who he was most excited to meet.
Kevin Garnett. Yeah, I love Kevin Garnett's energy just as a person, basketball player. He's the same person, you know, from just what I hear from other people to what I seen today. He's the same guy, just how we met. The energy was high, you know, so that really was one right there.
All right, calls for the firing of Juwan Howard as the head coach of Michigan have been coming in from the Detroit media today following the incident involving the former NBA player and head coach of Wisconsin. Howard was livid with Badgers head coach Greg Carr for calling the timeout late in the game with Wisconsin well in front of Michigan. His displeasure started in a handshake line after the game that quickly escalated into a full-scale brawl between both teams, and Howard throwing a punch that hit Wisconsin assistant head coach Joe Krabenhoff. After the game, Howard blamed Carr for starting the melee.
Addressed with the head coach that I will remember that because of that timeout, and for someone to touch me, and I think that was very uncalled for him to touch me as we were verbalizing and communicating with one another. So that's what ended up happening, and that's what escalated it.
Well, late this afternoon, the Big Ten suspended Howard 5 games, which is the rest of the regular season.
Pro football coverage, powered by Davis Law Firm.
The attorney for Texas quarterback Deshaun Watson went to court today to ask the judge for a delay in his deposition for 22 women who have filed civil lawsuits against him for sexual assault during massages. Now, Rusty Hardin was trying to get Watson's depositions delayed until after April the 1st, but the judge hearing the case decided on a compromise in this case. He can delay giving his deposition until after April 1st for the women who filed criminal complaints against Watson, since a grand jury hearing the case expected to have a decision by that date. For all the others, Watson must appear for deposition when his attorney Rusty Hardin is available. He is currently in the middle of a trial. Here's something you may not have known. After Austin Cindric won his first ever Daytona 500 over the weekend. After a pileup towards the last lap forced a red flag restart, Cindric did a great job of blocking Ryan Blaney, as you can see him slide up to do so. And then he had to outrace Bubba Wallace to the finish line, where he beats him by just 36 thousandths of a second to take the checkered flag. And like most winners in NASCAR, they like to pull up to the grandstand and do a few donuts. But why did he stop to sit on the hood of his race car and just stare into the crowd? Was it just there to soak it all in for the moment?
Well, I broke the car. I broke the starter, and I blew out the right rear tire. So don't think that's anything bad. But yeah, I was kind of stranded. So definitely a good time to collect my thoughts and just appreciate the moment there for a minute. To be able to do this in front of a sellout crowd, to be able to do this in general, to be able to be part of this race, having a shot. It's a racer's dream, and so many people get close to it, and I feel very grateful and very proud to be able to pull it off.
Your crew will forgive you. High school basketball playoffs and bull riding next. Boys high school basketball playoffs tonight beginning. Jefferson facing Southwest Legacy in Class 5A by district round, wearing the name of teammate Herberto Mancias Zuniga on their backs as he battles cancer. Mustangs rolling tonight. Third quarter, Nathaniel Aguiano forces a steal, takes it the distance for the lay-in, 43-18. Few plays later, Joseph Rincon hits the pull-up jumper to extend that lead. Mustangs advance to the second round, 76-47. Also in Class 5A, Sam Houston taking on Southside at Alamo Convocation Center. Back and forth battle in the fourth quarter. Aaron Harden knocks down the jumper in transition. He scored 18 points tonight, but the Cardinals answer right back. Gabriel Hinojosa gets the shot to fall for 2 of his game-high 31 points. Cardinals knock out the Hurricanes 63-57. Next game on the court, Lee versus Judson, Class 6A by district round. Judson takes control in the third quarter. Donovan Gomez hits a triple from the wing to put the Rockets up 6 heading into the fourth quarter. Gashawn Napoleon answers with a two-handed jam on the other end. He had a team-high 24 points, but the Rockets put together an 11-0 run. Anarsis Brandon skies for the slam. He had a game-high 25. Judson moves on with a 65-59 victory. Cody Webster and Chuck Swisher ready to help at any moment in bull riding the San Antonio Rodeo. No one's no better than Troy Benton III on board Kingpin tonight, because as soon as he is thrown, Cody moves in to pull the cowboy out of harm's way. Watch this. Nicely done. Only 2 qualifying rides tonight. This is the best. J.R. Stratford on board Magic Poison. And notice how the bull changes direction, and J.R. is still able to stay on, and for that he's rewarded with a big fat 89. Let's say we do it all again tomorrow night.
That's one of the highest scores we've seen, right?
Yeah, but did you notice the bull? Yeah, that's hard to stay on that way.
Yeah.
Props to him.
Yes, lives to play another day.
I'll be right back.
Hard to. That's it for the Night Beat. Don't forget, Good Morning San Antonio starts at 4:30.
Have a wonderful night. Enjoy one more day of those spring-like temperatures, and then watch for that dip. Have a good night.
Leaving with a good note there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Bundle up on Wednesday.